Hi, this is Claire again, and often I get a question concerning reading patterns. In Tarot, in Lenormand, what can we do? Which are the best patterns? Can you talk about patterns? And no, I won't talk about patterns because I'm not a big fan of them. I have to be honest. Reading patterns are very good if you are on the start of your tarot or Lenormand or whatever cards you use on your journey. Yeah, then they can be a help that you have something you can grasp to start. But as time goes on, you will see that reading patterns are often very limiting. For example, let's show this in a picture. If you have a classical one, like this is where you are now, this is the underlying things, the root of things, this is on top, these are your swords and everything above, this is the past, and this is the future. This is a very simple cross pattern. This is a wonderful pattern. There's nothing to say against it. But it might be that, for example, you have a card here in the root, in the what is below the topic, and this card, you see it, and somehow you want to make it fit into this root category. But what if will you do if this card clearly, the situation, clearly is about the past too? What will you do then? Yeah. So this is just an example, but in my experience, I can only talk from my experience. So if you like patterns and you love reading patterns and so on, then please get your information elsewhere. I can just talk from my experience, and my experience was that reading patterns are very limiting because the cards are the boss, as I always tell it to my clients and to my students. The cards are the boss and they tell the story. And if we don't understand it yet, we have to learn more. Yeah, this is the rule that I go by. And reading patterns, then you have to make it fit. You have this meaning of this part of the reading pattern, and you have to fit the card somewhere inside. But the cards are like a curtain of meanings. They are a pattern. This is more like a piece of cloth that is weaved, that shows the life, that shows the pattern of life. And so it can be very limiting if you should make it fit into those small packages of meaning. And the cards often, they love to refer to each other, or a card shows someone, and this someone is maybe later in a reading, but he has a link to the past. And you simply feel this is this person from the past, but it is at the wrong place. And the problem is, yes, the cards have to lay somewhere. And if you have a reading pattern, then often you have the case that a card shows up and it doesn't make sense at this point of the pattern. But this card simply wanted to show itself like, hey, here, I'm important. I'm an important fact about your question. And yes, this is a problem, because if you are strictly on your pattern, then it won't fit. Yeah, so this is simply my way of reading the cards, and in my my Lenormand correspondence course is also available in English, so you will see patterns there too. But I use patterns just to sharpen the mind and to to have a crutch you can start with. But when you are going more and more on your way and you gain more experience and so on, you can put the crutch away and just go your way straight again. Yeah. So simple patterns, I often have them more like geographical, or how you call it, like just patterns per se. I like to use them with a hint for the future maybe, or a hint for the past, but I'm not so much into strict meanings of this is position A, this is position B, this is position no, this is not so much my case. But if you are a beginner, if you are starting, then you can use it just to get a feeling. Yeah, you have to start somewhere. And as time goes on, everything will develop and will become better. And then you will, you will, of course, develop, and your experiences will make it easier to you. Yeah, this just will develop. And one thing too I have to mention here, I don't know where you are from when you are watching this video, but in many countries there are these astro channels, or psychic channels or whatever. And here in Germany they tend to put many cards on the table and talk. And many people assume, oh, if I want to do it like a pro, I need many cards on the table. This is a pro style, so to say. And don't worry about this. Please don't worry about it, because often less is more when reading the cards, especially if you have a very complicated situation. And of course, you have talked with your friends about it. You have talked maybe with your family about it. You know all the different aspects of the situation. And if you pick many cards, then the cards tend to show you all these different aspects. And you are like, yes, it's nice that you show them to me, but I already know it. I wanted to know the solution. Yes, and therefore it is often better to pick one or three cards, for example, to get it on the point, to get it together. You know all the aspects. Now you want to know the solution, So less can be more, and don't think that it is more professional or that you are a better card reader if you use more cards. This is not the case. Basically, as I have said it at the start, the cards are the boss. And the cards tell the story. And this is all that is important. The story, how it goes on, the influences, what will come, what can I do. Yeah, this is everything that matters. It is not about strict rules. It is not about having many cards on the table or things like that. It is about a good solution. This is the goal. Many people tend to put the techniques and the styles, so to say, above the meaning and above the solution. And this is, of course, not very helpful. Yeah, it is not. Card reading is not a goal for itself. The goal is a solution. Yeah, so this is very important. Always keep this in mind, because there are many books, there are many websites, there are many informations everywhere, and often this is like. Yes, you can get confused because everything is so complicated, and you ask yourself, well, will I ever get it? Will I, as a normal being, be ever able to read the cards? Yeah, and this is something some pros even try to evoke this impression. They don't want to have concurrents, or how you call it, other people who also do it. Yes, they don't want you to do it because they want to earn money. But in my experience, you can share, because everything will come back to you in some ways. So there is no good thing in keeping your knowledge to yourself, or being like, oh, this is so complicated, you will never learn it, or things like that. This is nonsense. Just forget it. Do it your style. And do it your style also means if you like reading patterns and if they work for them, then forget everything I have said. Yeah, because the cards work with you. This becomes a personal relationship, so to say, between you and your cards. And for example, if your reading patterns are something you have good experiences with, then stick to it. Yes, experience is everything. Theory is important, and it is good that you don't have to invent the wheel yourself, as we say it in German. But stick to what really works. Make notes and look later into your notes what turned out right, what turned out not so right, so to say, which is the way that it works for me. Yeah, this is so important. Many people are searching for strict rules. They just can apply these rules and everything is fixed and fine, and they don't have to think themselves. And this doesn't work with the cards. It is a very personal thing between you and your cards. And so this video is just my point of view, how I do it and how I can recommend it from my experience. But your experience is always your thing. Yeah, so always stick to yourself, stick to your cards, and get all the information you can get, but don't eat it, so to say. See it and see what works for you, but trust in yourself. Yeah? So I hope you had fun, and these were informations you can work with, and we will see each other in the next video.